You know what? I got to see Kofi Mania. But anyway, let's get back on track. Your
favorite match of all time, if I had to just pick one, I would say Bret the Hitman Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13, the submission match, which really put Stone Cold on the map as a babyface. Bret Hart went into that match as a hero. Stone Cold was the villain in that match, and by the end of it, they switched spots.
They did a double turn.
Is
that the one where
Ken Shamrock was the referee?
Is bleeding,
yeah,
and he's gushing
and
blood, and the sharpshooter
yes.
is like making him bleed even more. And
that is an iconic
It's an iconic
shot.
photo of.
I made a T-shirt out of that too.
Yeah.
The Austin 316 in the blood, and in the back of the shirt was his face with the blood dripping while he was in the sharpshooter. By far, one of my favorite matches of all time. Yeah. I could watch that today and have no problem with it, for sure.
And what about you?
I mean, I don't have like the same history with the WWF or the WWE, but when I think of like favorite matches or things that like really stand out, it's definitely got to be Mankind, Undertaker, Hell in the Cell. Because, Mankind takes that, Mick Foley goes 30 feet off the top, and then he gets fucking, choke slam through the cage, and then ends up going through the mat.
Breaks the ring, yeah.
So, that stands out in my mind. I definitely was watching that live. I had rented that at the time. I don't know the year, though. What year was that?
96 or 7? I don't think it was.
1998.
It was 8?
98.
It was 98.
Okay. Yeah, that was definitely one of those ones.
King of the Ring, 1998. Yep.
Couple friends.
Shit really goes down in King of the Ring. Yeah. Like, if you think Kurt and
Austin 316 says, I just whipped your ass.
Yeah, there's a lot of
King of the Ring.
King of the Ring. Are you familiar with the concept of the King of the Ring?
No. Well,
we could talk
what's
about
the difference between that and like Royal Rumble? I feel like
Royal Rumble is 30 men go in, on a rolling basis over time, and whoever is, you have to throw them over the ropes, and then that's it. They're eliminated.
And they have to go over the top rope. You can't put them.
And both feet must touch the floor.
Right. And there's all these statistics that they always throw out now. They're always like, the number 1 has yielded 6 winners over the last 30 years, and the number 28 is actually as lucky as number 1. But so that's Royal Rumble. King of the Ring is like a bracket tournament.
They don't do it anymore, though.
They do King of the Ring.
They don't do it anymore.
They did a Queen of the Ring.
There's no pay-per-view called King of the Ring anymore.
No, literally they did King of the Ring like three months ago or 4.
Yeah, but it's on like Raw. It's not like a main pay-per-view like they used to have it.
Well, the main match, I think, where Apollo Crews, not Apollo Crews, who won the King of the Ring?
The New Day? Apollo Creed? Not Creed, but Creed.
Oh, see, damn, Austin Creed is what he goes by, but I'm trying to remember what his Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods is a cool guy. I met him.
He is a cool guy. Yeah. What, you met him?
Yeah. So he goes to the
big
wrestling
video
show
game player
at
too.
Dragon Con every year, and for 3 years in a row, my friends still do it, but I haven't been able to make it for the last few years. We do a massive 80s wrestling group.
I've seen those photos.
And
those are amazing.
I dress like Slaughter for that group, and there's one of every character, and like we're all like top notch, like we all look fucking like the people. And he was marking out when he saw us, and we took pictures with him, and he was cool. And then they actually we talked to the promoters of the matches, and when they finished the show, they let us all get into the ring to like take pictures and stuff. So that was a really cool photo op.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, it was really sick.
All right, well, I'll get us back on track.
Yeah, your favorite match.
My favorite match. It's a hard choice because there's a lot of classics, but oh man, I have 2, but I'll go with one. It's got to be the first Hell in a Cell. It was the first one, right?
Taker and Shawn.
Yeah,
Bad Blood.
Bad
1997.
Blood, 97, and man, what was cool about it was, despite whatever Joe's about to say about Shawn Michaels, it was actually. But it really
he said it today too, and I didn't even probe him for that.
I've been seeing that shit.
It really legitimized Shawn Michaels though, because he was always kind of seen as like, it was pretty. Everything was pretty before that. Like, you never saw Shawn
bleed,
get the shit kicked out of him, and gush blood like that. The good guy, you didn't really see that all that often.
He was a heel though.
It could show that he could take a beating. Yeah,
Shawn went in as the heel.
Yeah, I always loved Shawn and DX, so for me it was like I wanted him to win, and Undertaker was just beating the shit out of him.
As you should.
The more he beat him, the more you kind of rooted for him a little bit. He's like, God damn, he's taking a beating. And then really what culminated, and I was a young child, so I was watching this like so upset seeing Shawn get the fuck kicked out of him, and then fucking Kane debuted because I remember the lights like just fucking. I think they went out. and then
It's
they
gotta
turned.
be Kane.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Before
it
they
was-
would say that.
you didn't even know who it was yet. The lights just changed. Everything went like I think dark, then red, and then you heard like the bah, bah, like the organ playing, and that was the first time you ever heard it. So it was like, what the fuck is this? And then just like the whole presentation of Kane coming out, and you're like, who the fuck is that guy?
It's
That's
the fake
Undertaker's
Diesel. I
brother.
already knew.
And it instantly legitimized him because
I
it's
used
the
to
Undertaker's
love that
brother.
backstory where like his house went on fire and
It was
Yeah.
Undertaker's
You didn't-
brother.
you didn't-
Kane was like
right?
buried alive or
Jerry the
something.
King Lawler's ex-dentist, Isaac
Isaac
Yankem.
Yankem. We didn't. Nobody knew that.
I did.
Real
Well, Undertaker
insiders
was
knew.
scary
I
because he
knew
would
that
always
as soon
get
as
the
he
fuck
came
up.
out.
Yeah,
He's
well,
dead.
but Kane started to do his own version of that. Taker would do like the slow sit up, and then Kane would do like the more, I don't know.
Abrupt.
Violent.
But it instantly legitimized Kane because first it was an entrance into a main event.
Yeah.
It was just the best presentation, and you were terrified. And he fucking rips the door. I mean, there's a meme, you could see it, just like him ripping the fucking door off the cell and fucking tearing his way in, and just the stare down. And
Well,
it's-
Taker sold it well too.
that's the other thing.
Taker
is,
really sold it.
And what really sold it was that he's a gargantuan figure, and Kane comes in, and
Equally-
Kane's just as big as fucking
Right.
Undertaker, and it's like, holy shit, because he was literally larger than life in
Right.
those days.
Yeah.
Andre the Giant wasn't around anymore, so he was
Right.
really like this fucking status that you
they
had to
stand
beat.
nose to nose, and it's like shit. They're like the same. He's fucking one arm is out, and it's actually did he have the one arm
Yeah.
out yet?
Yeah.
He did. But what really did it was the look on Undertaker's face.
Yeah.
Was you never saw the Undertaker afraid of nothing. He was the
No.
Undertaker. He was the dead man. You were afraid of him.
No expression.
Right. It was just blank and empty. But he was like this look of, and he never like really did that face like throughout his career. There's very few times that you saw that.
Except when he
and,
makes the laughing face.
Oh
Brock
yeah.
Lesnar.
Him and Brock Lesnar both sit up, and they do the laugh. Oh,
That
that's
shit was
classic.
He looks like Count Chocula when he does that.
That was recently, right? That was
Yeah,
in the
that was-
last,
that was
like,
last
Good evening.
WrestleMania ago. I mean, honestly, it's probably like 10 years ago at this point. I
At
don't
this
even
point,
know.
yeah.
WrestleMania
it's
30.
like
That was
Gage.
actually almost 10 years ago. That was.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say that's my favorite. It's a classic match. Kane is one of my favorite wrestlers. So Kane, Shawn Michaels, and Undertaker are all my favorite wrestlers. It was just a fucking great match.
So I'm gonna have to agree with Vin that the King of the Ring, that match, and what's cool about that was I got to go to Mick Foley's one man show, and I got his like first person perspective on
Fuck
that
yeah.
match, and he talks about some of the behind the scenes shit, like he said that like Undertaker talked to the referee, and he's like, go make sure he ain't dead or something like that.
His poor kids were just like.
And there was something about like he fucking gets lifted up and his like fucking sneakers are like still.
Well,
on the mat
that's
and
actually
shit.
Terry Funk. Terry Funk comes out to check on McFoley,
That's what it was.
and the Undertaker grabs Terry Funk, chokeslams him literally out of his shoes.
Out of his shoes. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that
That's
was
pretty funny.
But it's like the whole thing, like just having the lore behind like one of my favorite matches was
Yeah.
one of the highlights of that one man show. And I actually went dressed head to toe as Sarge
Oh, he must have
for
loved
that show, and we got a few pictures, and I got a sock signed by him, and he
we
wore it
get
for
a
the picture. And
You remember how
Pictures
that?
of that?
what's that? Oh, I
Yeah.
do have pictures. Yeah,
Oh,
No,
we
I
need
have
a picture of
pictures.
that. I gotta see
I
a
have the
picture of
sock
that.
in the crate over there, so I can
That's
pull
awesome.
that out in
Break that
another
out.
episode.
Do you remember how that match started too? Because what happens is, like, I think immediately Mick Foley just goes to the top of the helmet.
He
Yeah,
starts
that's how the
climbing
match
to
started.
the top,
Exactly.
yeah.
how it
Right at the
started.
top, like right at the beginning of the match, he
Yeah.
just goes right up, and they're like, "What the hell is he doing?"
Yeah.
Because nobody was ever on top of it. The
Nope.
match before that, the Hell in a Cell with Shawn and
He dangled off the
Taker,
side of it, and he went
did.
through
He
the table.
climbed and dangled, and did he fall off of it?
He
or
fell through the
whatever?
table.
He fell to the table. So
Yeah.
Shawn already kind of fell off the side of it,
Hmm.
but they never went on
But
top
Foley's
of the cell.
bump was like one of
Yeah.
the craziest
Oh, yeah.
stunts
Yeah.
in the history of wrestling.
Well, both of them, because there's him
oh
going
yeah,
off
and
the
then
side
going
through
through
the
the
table,
ring,
and
like,
then
he
through.
broke the fucking ring. Like,
Yeah.
The chair comes down on his face.
Shit, that's the
Oh.
biggest thing that hurt him.
Broke his teeth, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it's when they were on
fucking
top
tooth
of the
went into
cell.
his nose.
Right.
They said that when they were on the top of the cell, when they were walking up there, you would just hear zip ties,
zip
like
ties
fucking
breaking, yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
Because nobody was supposed to be up there. It was supposed to be purely cosmetic.
We got to think
have
that's
the top.
almost 600 pounds up there between the both of them.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
so like there's no prep for this. There's no.
And they're landing on the shit too. And didn't Triple H have a match on top?
Triple H and
H
Cactus Jack had a match,
Yeah.
a career and ending match where he back body drops him through the top of the cell, but that they actually pad the ring for this one where he kind of
they planned
pancakes
to
a
go
little
through.
thicker.
a little bit safer spot, but still he goes through the ring just again. There's a couple of Hell in a Cells where Rikishi goes off the top and lands on a flat.
That was
bed.
the Armageddon Hell in a Cell.
Armageddon
That
Hell in a
was
Cell.
six. It was
Yeah,
all guys,
6.
every man for himself.
Yep, that was a
6
great
people.
match
He
too.
collapsed the interior.
Shane
of the whole
McMahon, that was a
He
great,
was-
crazy fucking bump. He's a
Oh my
psychopath.
God.
You know,
the bumps that guy's made over the years.
Actually,
like,
even last year or so, he had a match with Braun Strowman, and it was really fucking cool. He was climbing outside of the cell, and this was never done before. Braun Strowman, fucking took the cage, the cell cage, and started tearing it, and then fucking grabbed Shawn through, the Hell in a Cell, Shane through the Hell in a Cell, and pulled him through it.
Right.
Which is pretty cool. And then he threw him down. Actually, he threw him from the top into the ring.
Yeah.
Shane took a fucking crazy bump.
Yeah.
I think that was the last one, right?
Yeah.
One before that?
So that's the not fake.
I mean, him and Angle
wrestling
going
when I
through
try
real
to say
glass,
that.
basically.
Oh, well, then-
That was also a King of the Ring, yeah.
Yeah, King of the Ring, Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon is... You got to watch it if you haven't seen it. What the fuck's wrong? Everyone's seen it.
It's a
by
brutal match, yeah.
There's nothing fake about that.
I mean,
No, I mean, it's predetermined, but they're still putting their bodies on the line. You can't fake leaping off of a turnbuckle. I'm sorry,
Absolutely not.
and it's a choreographed dance because there's ways to take those bumps and there's ways to deliver them and when you're inexperienced, people can get really hurt. I mean, Owen Hart fucked up Stone Cold and broke his neck and.
Yep.
That could have been a career-ending injury. I mean, imagine if Stone Cold never got to see his.
it was a
prime,
career-shortening injury for sure.
For sure.
It
There's
definitely
a
took
few-
He
years
fucked
off
up his knees too.
Took years off his career.
There's a few... It's usually when somebody's falling on their head. There's Lita doing the one, I think it was dive out of the ring. It wasn't even a moonsault. She dives out of the ring, I think. Suicide dive. And then there's also when Brock Lesnar did the fucking...
Shooting Star Express at WrestleMania 19. Yeah.
Yeah, there's... that's really what's scariest is when people... fall on their head, which would then cause their neck to break,
Right.
or the concussions. Even Matt Hardy, I think 2 years ago on AEW, I think he fell
I
backwards.
believe Undertaker's the only one that's allowed to do it to him, Stone, now.
Yeah, and
Because
he's
I
pretty
think
much
they've
retired.
outlawed it. But
It's his
Taker's been
signature
doing it
move.
so long, he knows
It's
how to
his
do
move.
it.
Well,
It's his move.
And Kane, of course. Kane.
Well, of course. But what helps for them, though, are that they're tall guys, so they can pull off that move easier.
They know to hold.
First
them
time I
high.
saw that move was probably 1985. Don Morocco did the Tombstone back in the day. Not quite as the same way that the Undertaker does it, but the magnificent
Kind of a
Don
pile
Morocco did
driver,
a
they would-
yeah.
They used to
it's-
do the seated pile driver, right?
Well, that was like Mr. Wonderful. Paul
Really?
Orndorff did
John
that.
Cena.
dangerous as
Jerry the King
shit.
Lawler. Bret Hart did an amazing pile driver. He was one of the best
Shit.
to do a pile driver and be safe about it. And not
Yeah,
hurt
yeah.
you.